Is it safe to squat when you have a prolapse? A viewer on one of my previous videos told me that their doctor had told them that they should not squat when dealing with a prolapse. And on one hand, this is kind of true. I would not recommend loading weight, stacking plates, and, you know, blasting out your highest max squat load while you're dealing with a prolapse. I would not recommend that. But not squatting when you have a prolapse, in my opinion, isn't really a great recommendation. Because when you think about it, squatting is something that we need to be able to do throughout our life in order to maintain our independence. Not only that, but when we're squatting and doing these kinds of multi-joint movement patterns with our lower body, we are utilizing our biggest muscles of the body, and that has benefits that are huge for maintaining our body weight, for keeping our blood sugar stable. So it's just really important that we are able to utilize our lower body throughout our life and not put these blanket limitations on us that are going to actually hinder our health instead of benefiting our health. So I'm going to show you how you can squat while safely with prolapse, like modifications that you can keep up so that you don't let your lower body just totally deflate as you're going through a prolapse, because a lot of women go through prolapse symptoms or go through prolapse when they are in perimenopause and menopause. And that's when we really need to be especially mindful of maintaining our muscle, throughout our life and staying independent. We squat whenever we're sitting down and go to stand up, that's a squat. And when we're using the toilet, that's a squat, so we want to be able to maintain that range of motion and that movement pattern for as long as we possibly can. It's super important. So even though loading up your leg press machine or whatever and doing a crazy heavy squat, I do not recommend that, but it is important to maintain that range of motion. So I'm going to show you here. This is a box I have. It has it's 16 inches here. So whenever you're finding something to practice your squats with, I always recommend it's somewhere around like right below the knee. So you can see that here, 16 inches, I'm really close to this being a very comfortable place for me to sit right here. This chair is maybe a little bit higher, so that's good too. Higher sometimes for most of us is easier. So like right behind the knees, that's a good height for me. What you would not want to do is find something really low that hit you mid-calf. That I would not recommend if you are working on your squat while you're dealing with a prolapse. I would be sure that the height of the thing I'm going to be aiming for is, higher calf, like right behind the knee kind of thing. So whenever you're doing a squat, you want your feet to be about hip width apart. Okay. You want your toes to be facing forward, maybe turned out just a little bit. Okay. And you want to start standing nice and tall. Okay. Your hands can be wherever's comfortable as we're starting. You can have your hands on your hips. You can have your hands here at your chest, wherever's comfortable. And when I go into movement, you may feel more comfortable when you're moving, bringing your hands out in front of you to counterbalance your weight going behind you, right? Your bum weight going behind you. Sometimes it's really nice to have your hands go forward to counterbalance so you feel secure, okay? So if you're just starting to do squats, this is what I recommend you do with something behind you, especially if you are not a conditioned person. You are just sort of thinking, I really need to start getting moving. I have prolapse symptoms. How can I start getting this movement pattern so that I don't lose it? Okay. So what you do from here is as you sit, your arms come out, your butt goes back, your whole back is nice and steady and flat. Perfect. And you can sit lightly and then you come right back up, pushing through your heels, your midfoot. Your whole foot should be applying pressure, okay? But you're gonna probably feel that pressure more in your heels and the midfoot, more than going into the ball of your foot. Okay, so we're gonna do that again. Feet are steady, everything's nice and in line, and you come down, and then you come right back up. Okay, that's a squat. Down and right back up. Okay, and you can do 8, 10, 12, 15 of these all in a row. Right? Keeping your knees in line. You want to make sure there's no buckling. I'll show you from here straight ahead. So here you are, nice and tall, feet about hip width apart. Here, toes can be turned out slightly if you'd like, that's fine. Your knees should track, for these purposes, your knees should track with your toes. There is variation with squats, but I'd say just starting out, just keep it simple. And again, your arms can go out in front, and then you come right back up. Down, and then right back up. And you always want to have a controlled movement pattern, right? There's not like a drop. You want to be sure that when you're going to sit, it's controlled. Like you could stop and freeze at any time and come back up. So you really want to maintain that kind of control through the full range of motion. So maybe 3 counts on the way down. 1, 2, 3, and then push back up nice and steady with your feet. Most of the pressure is going to come from the heel, the midfoot. What you don't want is to be pushing up with your toes, because then you're probably going to feel it more in the knees than anywhere else. So just nice even pressure here is perfect. And it's down, and then it's right back up. And once you start feeling like you have mastered it, you're doing maybe 15 to 20, maybe you're getting a little breathless when you go through it, great, perfect. And then you are ready to not quite touch the seat with your bum. You're just hover, and then you come back up. So you would come down, 3, 2, 1, and then right back up. Slowly lower, 3, 2, 1, and back up. Okay, it's a really controlled movement pattern. 3, 2, 1, and push. Okay, so you're gonna feel it here in the front of your thighs. You're gonna feel it here in the back, and you should really feel it here in your glutes, maybe the most. That would be good. You want your glutes to be working, right? So these are the muscles you use to get upstairs, to get off the toilet, to get up out of a seat, to get out of your car and push up and stand. So it's really important to keep up that strength work in your lower body. And so that is my feeling around, should someone with a prolapse be doing squats? And I say, you should be able to do squats. You should not have to load up weights to do squats. But if your doctor has told you not to do squats, I would probably follow up with, is it okay for this? Like, is it okay for this? Because it really isn't practical to go through life not doing squats in that sense. In this kind of functional sense, you should be able to. And having the seat higher is going to put a lot less pressure on your pelvic floor. So make sure the seat, like I said before, just this is probably the biggest, most critical variable that could be sort of messed up, is doing it on a seat that's too low. I don't have anything here that's too low where I could demonstrate. But if you're doing it on something that's really low, it really does put a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor. But you should be able to work up to doing, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 15 in a nice smooth pattern. And as long as you are breathing well, that's another thing. Let's talk about breathing. So when you're doing your squats, you inhale on the way down, you exhale on the way up. Okay, that applies support to your pelvic floor. Okay, make sure you're not gripping your pelvic floor. Make sure everything's nice and relaxed. So down, 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 you're inhaling, and then you exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, and then exhale up. Okay, so breathing is really important to maintaining your pelvic floor stability and health and everything. I hope that was helpful to you. I hope that you found that useful. So that is my recommendation for anybody who is wondering about squats and wondering about how squats can relate to your prolapse. Functional squatting should be okay, and you should follow up with the doctor just to make sure everyone's on the same page with that. But doing squats on a chair like this, sit down, stand up, and repeat, or on a box like this of the appropriate height with no added weight, should be totally fine. And you might find even eventually that you could use some very light weights and hold them by your side while you're doing the squats, or hold them here while you're doing the squats. As long as your biomechanics are really good, anything's possible, you know? And doing squats is an exercise that could help you maintain the strength of your pelvic floor instead of things becoming super deconditioned, because that's what you don't want, is to become super deconditioned. Okay, so that is it for me. My name is June Melia. I have been a certified personal trainer for 25 years and an endurance athlete, and I myself have dealt with prolapse and have had to, you know, circumnavigate and work around and do a lot of rehab to get myself all back together again. But I hope this was really helpful to you. And if you liked this video, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel, where I'm giving lots of information on primarily prolapse, you know, the safest ways to help your prolapse, how to manage prolapse, what to do, what not to do, all of this around prolapse, because a lot of women are dealing with prolapse, and I do not want to see it get in the way of living a healthy, active lifestyle. All right, so that's it for me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. If you would like more information on how to include strength training into your exercise routine as a woman with prolapse, I will leave the video for you here so that you can learn more about how to safely add more strength training into your routine as someone with prolapse. All right, I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.